Hello and welcome. This is a different kind of pace to a video. I'm actually going to go through my current Ultimate Team and see what I can do, if I can make any changes, but I'll talk to you of why I have them together, and you know, I'll give you the understanding of why I chose these players in these positions. So, starting off with line one, we've got two playmakers and a sniper. Teuvo Teravainen, Claude Giroux, and Tage Thompson. The only reason Teuvo Teravainen and Tage Thompson are on this first line is because it's the preseason and they're the newest event cards, and they're going to have challenges coming out weekly, and I'm going to need all the help I can get. Claude Giroux just came into the team. I took him into the team instead of one of the goaltenders. I think it was last season's goaltender, or this season's goaltender, in Lundqvist. I only brought him in. Yes, he's got 7 games, no points. It was because he was playing fourth line hockey, and I wasn't understanding how to use him properly. Now I'm going to, and he's going to be in my first line center. Second line, obviously, Marchand, Granlund, Garland. The only reason this is my second line instead of my first line is because of challenges. My first line, I will vow every time, my first line will always be whatever the current event and challenges are. Second line is whatever I want to do, my highest rated cards usually. Third line is my fun line, my youngsters. I would per se like my young guns. I've got Demidov, I've got Hagens, and I've got McQueen, sorry. Then my fourth line is Sveshnikov, Nugent Hopkins, and Danny Heatley. The reason why I have them all in their regular sides for shooting is mainly because I find they play a lot better and a lot more precise with their passes and shots. Yes, you hear everybody and their mother say, hey, move the lefts to the right and the rights to the left. I used it the entire year. I didn't see much of a difference between the two. I do prefer having everybody in their right spots because I'm a kind of player that likes to play the game slow, move the puck precisely, find good shots, not just any shot. And, I win games. Defense now. We've got Damian Sievertson. I just picked him up. He's been an absolute demon for me. 10 points in 2 games. Not bad. Crazy numbers in terms of stats. Paired with Lane Hutson. 2 offensive defensemen. Yeah, I know. Lane Hutson has been a lock on this line for the year. If you want to see his stats, I'll show you, and I'll show you why. He's got 840 games, 182 goals, 600 assists for 1438 plus minus. 97 penalty minutes in his entire career for the team, and he is doing really well. Second line, PK Subban and Megan Keller. PK Subban's played 28 games. He's got enough points to survive on this team. PK Subban was one of my favorite players growing up as a Canadiens fan, and just to have a card like him in 2025, I was shocked. I was shocked that even EA thought the Canadiens deserved cards. Getting the Hudson card, let alone the Demidov card, I did not expect. The PK Subban card was one that I really was excited to get, and that's why I'm still playing this game. If they didn't bring out a PK Subban card, if they didn't bring out a Demidov card, I probably wouldn't have been playing the game anymore. I probably would have stopped at the end of Team of the Season or Team of the Year, whatever one it is. It's Team of the Season. But I'm actually still having fun with the game. Megan Keller, on the other hand, I've used her for 917 games. She's got almost 1,200 points. Almost 1,200 points. I think she has it. But I learned my lesson, so next year I will not be using women's defensemen because she's good. Her card is disgusting. Her card's unreal. The problem with it is her weight. She's 165 at 5'11 as a two-way defenseman. If she was an offensive defenseman, I would have used her a little bit more, but it doesn't make sense. Dougie Hamilton, on the other hand, is 6'6", 230 pounds, offensive defenseman with busted stats. Crazy numbers. Good games so far for me. The big man, Caden Gooley. He's got no goals, but he's got 10 assists in 24 games. He is playing third line D. I only got him because he's a Canadiens card. My philosophy with this game is Canadiens cards, if they're good enough, and I consider them good and useful, I will get them no matter what. They will stay in my team for either as a mainstay or as a, replacement for challenges, or like, hey, I want to try playing with a new lineup, change some players around. I will get them for that reason. Now to the big moment you guys have been waiting for, the goaltender I've been using. I've been using Anthony Stolarz for the last 20 games. He's got a .7 goals against average with a 9.38. The original goaltender I used before Anthony Stolarz was the 95. I forget what card it was. Frederik Andersen. I used him for 229 games. He was really good. He had a 1.1 goals against average with a 9.82. He was disgusting. The goaltender before that was an 85 overall transactions, Jake Ottinger. I used him for 500 games. The math isn't mathing, I know. I used a XP Sergei Bobrovsky when he came out. I used an XP Gustafsson when he came out. I used the XP Ilya Sorokin when he came out, and those three combined probably have about 100 to 200 games. So that's about 800 games. The rest of the games were just random goaltenders I used during challenge weeks and challenge months. X Factor, Team of the Week, just random goaltenders. I used Samuel Montembeau's 93 Team of the Week for 5-6 weeks. Other than that, there's not much I can say about this team other than it was a work in progress for the longest time, and then I decided to really dig in and completely restart my team. I'm talking, I put all the cards that I didn't want into sets and got cards that I wanted, or got stuff towards cards that I wanted. That's how I got the James Hagens. That's how I got the McQueen. That's how I got the Demidov. That's how I got the Sveshnikov, the Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I packed out of the bound pack for the fantasy cards. That's how I got the Danny Heatley. I used those cards in the sets to get the Danny Heatley because I did not feel like doing his challenges. And, defensively, that's how I got the Lane Hudson. Obviously, when it first came out, it was an 86 overall card. That's how I got the Megan Keller when she first came out. That's how I got the Gooley. That's how I got the Dougie Hamilton, the Anthony Stolarz, all the goaltenders that I mentioned previously, and a lot of the cards that I don't have anymore, I regret getting rid of. I had the fantasy card Axel Sandin Pellikka. I really missed that card. I had the fantasy Dalibor Dvorsky. Loved him because I'm a Wolves fan. Sudbury Wolves is to be exact. And the two cards actually that I really regret getting rid of were the Marie-Philippe Poulin Team of the Year and the Aaron Ambrose Team of the Year, because I got rid of them mainly because I didn't see them getting any upgrades, because the PWHL season had just come to an end. The Minnesota Frost won the Walter Cup for the second year in a row, and I just didn't see them upgrading cards, and lo and behold, 2 months later, they upgrade both cards, Marie to 96 and Ambrose to 97, along with the William Nylander X Factor card that I got rid of 3 times for some reason. I kept getting it and then realized, hey, I can use him in the sets to get new cards, which eventually gave me the Brad Marchand, Mikael Granlund. And, I obviously got Connor Garland from the beginning of the year. I can show you him. He's been my captain the entire year. Let's go through his stats a little bit here. Issued October 25th, 2024. He is the captain since I got him on October 25th. He has got 1,380 games, 782 goals, 888 assists for a plus-minus of 2,350, meaning 2,350, 156 penalty minutes. All stats 99 except for fighting skill, endurance, face-offs, and shot blocking. This card is disgusting, and it will be disgusting for as long as I live. My favorite card I used all year would have to be, by a long shot, the Ivan Demidov 96. I'm biased, I'm a Canadiens fan. I'll give you a non-biased favorite. I'd say a non-biased favorite would have to be Megan Keller. I've actually really liked how she played in game. And she's been 98 for 4 months. She's been 98 overall for about 4 months. Because her fantasy card, she kept scoring goals. And how that works is the Team of the Year upgrades with the fantasy card. Meaning, every time she gets a goal, this card upgrades too. But I'm hoping they do that with more cards next year, where they release more objectives and more event cards that upgrade due to real life play at the time. Like, say, for example, we use the St. Louis Blues 12-game winning streak as an example. If they pick a certain two players to release a card saying, hey, the goals they score will directly transfer to their stats in game, and the more goals you score in game with the player, the better they'll feel in game, enticing you to use your theme teams. That's why I think they should add this as an idea where they notice, like, they build an algorithm. It's easy. They can do it. They have millions of dollars to build an algorithm. And what it does is if it detects that you're doing a theme team, it gives you a higher percentage to pack those team players. Meaning, if I did a Canadiens team, they'd give me a higher chance to pack Canadiens cards out of packs. Obviously, they aren't going to give you the higher rated cards. They'll give you, the base cards to trade in for X player that you see and you like. Or they do a thing where they give you the ability at the beginning of the year to pick, say you choose your favorite team. For example, Canadiens. When you go into Ultimate Team, they give you your base pack of your base team that you build at the beginning. They give you that pack, but you go to the store and you claim a free trios pack, or whatever they'll call it, where you get your captain, your assistant captains, and your goaltender to start your theme team. And they upgrade based on real life performance. Not like a fantasy card. More or less, the more games they play, the more milestones they hit in the season, the higher overall that card feels in game. For example, if the player hits 10 goals by a certain number of games, the card upgrades. If they get 10 assists by a certain number of games, the card upgrades. If they get X amount of games played in the season, if they hit a record, they get a boost. If they start playing really well with their line mates, those line mates will get a boost in their cards. Something like that where it changes up the meta. Because right now, in this game, 99% of players are going to agree with me, especially the casuals. Here's the top 6 of every team for the entire year. McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, Ovechkin, Matthews, Marner is the same top 6 you'll see entire year. And then defensively, Cale Makar, Aaron Ekblad, the big guys. The top 15 players, top 22 of each position is usually what you see in majority of the teams. And I'm thinking, well, look at my team, for example. I have barely any mainstays. I've got Teravainen, Giroux, Thompson, Garland, Granlund, Marchand, Demidov, Higgins, McQueen, Heatley, Nugent-Hopkins, Svechnikov, Severson, Hudson, Keller, Subban, Hamilton, and Gooley, with Stolars and Lundqvist. Like, that is a well-balanced team built up of players that 99% of the community won't use because they think, oh, they're not the top 22 players in that position or that level. Who cares? They're not good. But in my opinion, you use the cards that you want, you find gems that you like using. But anyways, thanks to you guys to watching this. I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.